Exodus 21. I read from the Institute for Scripture Research, the ISR, because it takes a direct translation from Hebrew to English, Greek to English, and Aramaic to English. And as the last one just clearly said, Yah is a very jealous El, and he does not like idol worship or other names take his name. And I'm pretty sure he does not agree with people who say that he'll just understand what I'm saying, because, you know, it's roughly the same religion, right? So different names, who cares? I know that's how the one world religion got started. Exodus 21. These are the right rulings which you are to be set before them. When you buy a Hebrew servant, he serves 6 years, and in the 7th he goes out free for naught. Naught. If he comes in by himself, he goes out by himself, and if he comes in married, then his wife shall go out with him. If his master has given him a wife, and she has borne him sons or daughters, the wife and the children of her masters, and her children and her masters, and he goes out by himself. Well, that's unfortunate. And if the servant truly says, I love my master, my wife, and my children, let me not go out free, then his master shall bring him before Elohim, and shall bring him to the door or to the doorpost, and his master shall pierce his ear with an awl, AWL, and he shall serve him forever. And when a man sells his daughter to be a female servant, she does not go out as the male servants do. If she is displeasing in the eyes of her master, who has engaged her by himself, then he shall let her be ransomed. He shall have no authority to sell her to a foreign people because of him deceiving her. And if he has engaged her to his son, he is to do to her as is the right of daughters. If he takes another wife, her food, her covering, and her marriage rights are not to be diminished. And if he does not do these three for her, then she shall go out for naught without silver. If he strikes a man so that he dies, shall certainly be put to death. He who strikes a man so that he dies shall certainly be put to death. So pointing out that if you murder someone, life for life, you die, you kill someone, you die. That's how it should be. And he who strikes his father or his mother shall certainly be put to death. So if you turn and strike your father or your mother, you get put to death. I agree. And he who kidnaps a man and sells him, or not in the sense of like your parents are actually good parents and you do this, yeah, you should die. And he who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hand, shall certainly be put to death. So, and he who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hand, shall be put to death. Yeah, so if you know that whole slavery part that Mitzrayim or Egypt did when they kidnapped them basically and forced them under slavery, yeah, they would be put to death for that. So kidnapping and slavery is wrong. I just watched a video, can't remember this guy's name. He was in my list for so long. It was number 015, can't remember what it was from, or he's a hardcore Christian. He's one of the ones that believes in Jesus and not Yeshua, or Yehoshua, but Christianity is 9/10 the truth, so it's so hard to convince people that they've been fooled. But yeah, he was just talking about this exact same thing, where people were saying, well, it says that it was like some progressive Christian crap. And he was talking about the slavery and how this exact piece basically, because they were like, well, slavery, well, Christian Bible says slavery is okay. This is Exodus. This is like the beginning of the book, and it says, and he who kidnaps a man and sells him, or if he is found in his hand, shall be put to death. So no, it's not okay. And he who curses his father or his mother shall certainly be put to death. And when men strive together, and one strikes the other with a stone or with his fist, and he does not die, but is confined to his bed, if he rises again and walks about outside with his staff, then he who struck him shall be innocent. Wait. And when men strive together, so when they fight, and one strikes the other with a stone or with his fist, and he does not die, but is confined to his bed, if he rises again and walks about outside with his staff, then he who struck him shall be innocent. Okay, so you're allowed to beat the crap out of each other, but you're not allowed to kill each other. He only pays for lost time and sees to it that he is completely healed. And when a man strikes his male or female servant with a rod so that he dies under his hand, he certainly shall be punished. But if he remains alive a day or two, he is not punished, for he is his property. Oh, that's a little bit harsh. And when men strive, and they shall smite a pregnant woman, and her children come out, that yet there is no injury, he shall certainly be punished accordingly as the woman's husband lays upon him, and he shall give through the judges. Yeah, I would have just killed the guy. I'm like, I'm sorry, you're attacking a pregnant woman and her children? Dead. But if there is injury, then you shall give life for life. Yeah. Eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burn for burn, wound for wound, lash for lash. And when a man strikes the eye of his male or female servant and destroys it, he is to let him go free for the sake of his eye. And if he knocks out the tooth of his male or female servant, he is to let them go for the sake of his tooth. And when an ox gores a man or a woman to death, then the ox shall certainly be stoned, and its flesh is not eaten, and the owner of the ox is innocent. However, if the ox was previously in the habit of goring, and its owner has been warned, and he has not kept it confined so that it has killed a man or a woman, the ox is stoned, and its owner is also put to death. Yeah, I agree. If a sin covering is laid upon him, then he shall give the ransom of his life, whatever is laid on him, whether it has gored a son or gored a daughter, according to this right ruling, it is done to him. If the ox gores a male or female servant, he is to give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox is stoned. And when a man opens a pit, or if a man digs a pit and does not cover it, and an ox or a donkey falls in it, the owner of the pit is to repay. He is to give silver to their owner, and the dead beast is his. And when the ox of a man smites the ox of his neighbor, and it dies, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the silver from it, and also divide the dead ox. Or if it was known that the ox was previously in the habit of goring, and its owner has not kept it confined, he shall certainly repay ox for ox, while the dead beast is his. Excuse me. There was something back here I was just thinking about. I can't remember what it was. That's alright.